Hey everybody, so it's me. I wanted to come and sit down with you, and first of all, let me thank you so much for allowing me to come and speak into your life to the best of my ability, help you experience financial freedom the way I have experienced financial freedom. Now, I'm not by any means rich, but I will tell you that I've been able to experience a measure of a stress-free life, knowing that all of my bills are going to be paid at a specific time, and I'm not stressing out where the money's coming from and anything like that. So I will share with you really briefly something that happened to me about 8 years ago. So many of you know that about 8 years ago I went through a divorce, and from that divorce I was left with a lot of bills, and I just took it. I said, okay, God, this is what I have. This is what I'm going to be working with. There's nothing I can do to change it. And I just went with it. Having said all that, I sat down at my kitchen table one day and I prayed and I said, Lord, I don't know how to feed my kids. I didn't say I don't know how to pay my bills. I didn't say I don't have a job. I just said I don't know how to feed my kids. And the Lord dropped in my spirit coupons. And right after he did coupons, the very next couple weeks, it wasn't even long, God said he made a way for me to have $100 because I did not have $100. I don't even think I had 100 cents. He made a way for me to get $100 so I could take this class called Financial Peace University. And I signed up for the class. I think it was like either 12, 15, or 18 weeks. It was a pretty long class. And I sat through that class and I began to go through the principles that Dave Ramsey talks about. And he's the guy who does Financial Peace University. So I wanted to come and share with you the parts that worked for me. He has some baby steps. Baby step number 1 is your $1,000 emergency fund. He has what are called your baby steps, and baby step number 1 is to have $1,000 in your emergency fund. Now, if you're already struggling to pay your bills, it's difficult to figure out how you're going to get an extra $1,000 in your emergency fund. So I'll just tell you how to do it. Every year, when I get taxes back, if I get taxes back, and of course in North Carolina, most of the time we are paying North Carolina taxes. I had to pay again this year. I take my tax return, I make sure all my bills are caught up, and then I dump whatever's left into my emergency fund category at my bank. So it's just my savings account. What I have done faithfully over the last 6 years is I have done my monthly budget. So I do my budget sheet every month. It does not change. It doesn't differ. I don't care what's happening during the month. The budget sheet's getting done. And I do it normally about the 27th. I started on the 27th and I go to the end of the month, just depending on which day my paycheck rolls out. Now, we have what's called employee portal at my job, and so we know ahead of time what our pay is going to be before it actually dumps into our banking account for direct deposit. So, I sit down at my computer just like I am now, and I'm going to turn my computer around so you can see my process, and then I just actually fill in my categories. So as I'm doing this sheet, if you have any questions, let me know. Here's the one thing I have to tell you. If you want to get financially free, you have to have a plan. So my plan is I budget every month. I also I put my monthly budget in so that you could see these are my direct numbers. Nothing is changed, nothing is different. Single mom, 2 kids, just like anybody else, and I'm just working the plan. So I'm going to turn my computer screen around and let you see from start to finish how I actually do my budget. And if you're starting this for the very first time, then I'm going to recommend that you start at this step. Just sit down and write out what you have. You may not have a lot, but at least you know where your money is going. So this is just a mock sheet. This is not my actual budget sheet because I'm going to start over so you can see it from the very beginning of how it actually does look. And I'm going to try to adjust this camera so that it's not looking wonky. Let's see how that works. Okay, there we go. So I start off here with the date, and I'm just going to go in this box, starting in, there we go. So if you take that equal sign out, it'll let you put your date in. So I've got my date. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit more because you need to see this closer. Okay. So here's what I have, or this is what my budget sheet looks like. So this is called my monthly cash flow plan. These are all my budgeted items. Now anything here can be changed to fit your family specific. So I have charitable contributions. Now if you look at the bottom of this, I'm not sure if this will come up with 1, 2, or 3, but I only work on page 3. So this is the sheet that I'm working on for page 3. So for my charitable contributions, the next thing I have are my savings. Oh, let me go back up and put this in because this is important to put in. So for charitable gifts, Dave Ramsey says this should be between 10 and 15% of your income. That's what your charitable contributions should be. We know if we're all serving the Lord, you know, those of us who are Christians and ascribe to this particular portion of it, that a 10% is your tithe. Your savings should be between 5 and 10% of your income. Your housing should be between 25% and 35% of your income. My utilities, which under here is listed as my electric, my phone, different things like that. So my utilities should be between 5 and 10% of my income. My food is above the line, and food should be between 5 and 15% of my income. My, what's next? Transportation should be between 10 and 15% of my income. And I try to stay on the lower ends of some of these. Clothing, which is also above the line, should be between 2 and 7% of your income, how much money you're spending on these items. Medical should be between 5 and 10%. Personal should be between 5 and 10%. And the reason that I type everything out and I put these percentages in is because you're going to see it on the other side. It's going to actually tell you, once you start putting in, how much percentages you're really spending in any area. So we may think that we're not spending as much, but we are. And the only way to really know that is to write it down. My recreation should be between 5 and 10%. And then my debt should only be between 5 and 10% of my income. Now, if I'm spending way more than my estimated projections, I may need to make some changes. So I'm going to take you back up to the top of the sheet, and then I'm going to go back to the bottom. So if you look for every category that I have listed here, I have 2 columns. I have my budgeted amount that I'm going to type in here. And then I have an actual amount that that I know I'm going to spend. So this is what I think I'm going to spend, and I base that on my last month's set of bills. But this is actually what my bills were. So for every category that I have, charitable, savings, housing, under savings, that could be your emergency fund. If you're trying to get to $1,000, how much are you putting in every week, every month, just depending on how often you get paid? Because you're going to have emergencies. If we think we're not, we are fooling ourselves. Right before Christmas, I think it was 3 days before Christmas, I was told I had a radiator crack and an oil leak pan or something. So I was paying $500 for car repairs 3 days before Christmas. Thankfully, I had the emergency fund in place from the year before, and I was pretty good, and Christmas still happened. Housing could be your first or second mortgage, real estate taxes, homeowners, repairs, replacing any furniture, my utilities. That would include electric, phone, cable, anything else you think. Groceries and restaurants or fast food is considered food. Transportation is my car payment, oil and gas, repairs and tires, car insurance, license and tags, and car replacements. Clothing would be adult clothing. If you have children in here, you put your children's clothing. Under health is health insurance, doctor's bills, dentist, the ophthalmologist, medications, anything like that. Then under personal, life insurance, toiletries, hair care, education, cleaning supplies, laundry supplies, miscellaneous household supplies, subscription, organization dues, gifts including Christmas, blow money. And then under entertainment or recreation is entertainment, vacation, and trips. And then under debt, you've got your Visa card, your MasterCard, Discover card, and any other card that you have. Now, I've changed a lot of these categories because some of these things don't apply to me, being that my health insurance and life insurance is already taken out of my paycheck before I ever see it. So that doesn't apply to my situation. So under charitable contributions, I have my tithe, but my kids and I also partner with another ministry. And so I just like to go ahead and change that. Now, under my savings, I have my emergency fund. My retirement comes out of my paycheck. I have a fund for house savings since we just bought the house. And then I also have something on here called the Facebook Savings Plan. Now, under my housing, I just have one mortgage, so I just call this mortgage. Under that, then I have homeowners association. Under that, I have the lawn care because I count that as far as the house. And then the little fella will also let Gracie out sometimes for us. Then I put in here taxes, but my taxes are what is called escrowed. So everything, my property taxes, my homeowner's insurance, and my mortgage payment are all lumped into one payment that I pay to my mortgage company. And then my mortgage company pays to those other entities the percentage that belongs to them. Then I also have under housing insurance for my iPhone. Don't ask me why it's there, probably because that was the only blank line I had there. That should probably go under personal or utilities. All right, for utilities, I have electric, I have phone, I have cable, and I have water because I have to pay for my water bill. Groceries and fast food, I'll leave that the way it is. Car payment, oil and gas, car repairs and tires, we can leave that. I just call that car maintenance. All right, car insurance, license and taxes. So when you have to go and pay your taxes for the year to get your license plate sticker, and then any type of car replacement that I need. For clothing, I have one for mom, and then I have a clothing item for the children. Under medical, I have their pediatrics doctor. I have mom's doctor. I have mom's dentist. Well, I put peds dentist. Then mom dentist. And then I have the eye doctor, which is the optometrist, and then our medications. So I'm leaving that the same. Under personal, now this is where I have several changes because none of this applies to me. My life insurance comes out of my paycheck per month. So I have my gym membership, which I pay to this particular company, and they pay for my gym membership. Then I have toiletries. Here I include hair care because all of my household items comes out of my grocery budget. Toiletries and hair care go there. Then I have a fund called Gracie. Well, I now have a fund called Gracie. Then I had child care. This month we're going on a trip, so I put church trip. I had got some jewelry that I had to pay for. The kids take Taekwondo, well, we all do. And then I have something called PureFlix, which is just like Netflix, but it's a little bit more family oriented. The kids go to something every now and then called Parents Night Out at Taekwondo. We don't have one this month. We also have a competition. After that, we have Christmas gifts you can leave in there if you're doing a sinking fund for that. I don't do my Christmas gifts that way. And then I have my blow money in there. Now, under recreation, I have eating out, which we, of course, that could have been restaurants or fast food, but I'm just going to change it to what I have on my sheet. Eating out is there. And I guess I could have put church trip here. I'm going to change that now and just take this out. I'm going to delete that category because that's my recreation for this month. And then that already says trips, so I'm taking that out. Now, under my debt category, which is 5 to 10% of my income, I have a student loan. And I also have, I got a Safe Flight ticket. This, a couple months ago. So the things that I don't have, I take out. I don't have a MasterCard. I don't have a Discover card. And I don't have any other debt. Now, the reason I don't have debt is because I don't have a car payment. The only thing I'm paying for outside of my student loan is my house, my home. I have no other riding debt. So now what I have done, is I have put in all of my accounts for the month that I know that I use. And then I also put here how much it should be about out of your monthly income, the percentage wise. And in just a minute, if you'll look over here on this category in K, it will tell you based on how much I've spent, it's going to tell you how much your percentage is. So now this is where I start at the bottom of my sheet because everything here is relevant at the bottom, and then I work my way backwards. So under my income sources, I do my payroll check. I have, if I'm going to do a side hustle, I might have some eBay money coming in. I might have any rollover from the previous month, anything I have left after I've paid all my bills. And then I also have travel reimbursements that I get sometimes. Any kids' money that their dad sends for them. And then I just have unexpected blessings. Now, what you have to do is fill out these income sources according to what works for you. So I'm in column B. And I'm now going to move over to column C. because column C is what's going to start calculating for me. So I'm just going to do this based off of this month's payroll. All right. And then I want to make sure that I'm looking at my total income for the month. Now, what you have to understand is there are already formulas in these spreadsheets. So don't change anything other than column B, because there's no formulas in B. And then you can put in your amounts in row C, and it'll start changing your spreadsheet for you. So for the month of April, my paycheck was $2,721.36. So once I added in that number, it automatically told me, well, let me change this because this should not be there. I didn't normally have eBay in there, so that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's telling me here in red, in blue, see where it says 0? This number should equal a 0. By the time I've put in all my categories up this in E, well, I'm actually going to put them in C, but this number should be at a 0. So I'm going to come back over to column C, and then now I'm going to work my way down. So I put in my income. Now, for the month of April, my tithe and offering was $465. So as I put it in column C, it totals out for me. All I had to do was put a number in C, and it totals out for me. But let's go down and see what's happening with my bottom line, which is the number at the bottom. See, now that number has changed because I took $465 out of my $271, and so now I've got $2,256. But I forgot to put some income in here because we got this for the children. So even off of the top of that, I'm going to take 25 out, which is going to make this number change to 490. Now, because I partner with this ministry, I'm going to put in how much I pay them, $30 a month. Now, my total for charitable contributions is $520. That's what I'm estimating I'm going to pay based on what I paid last month. Now, scroll over to what I actually do pay, which that number is the same, and $30. And now it's equaling out here. This month I didn't put anything in my savings plan just because I didn't have any extra money to put in savings. So I didn't put anything in there. My mortgage for the month is $874.02. My homeowners association, I've already paid for the first 6 months, so I'm not going to pay again until June, but I'm leaving that category in there. It cost me $60 for my lawn and puppy guy. I have no taxes this month, and the insurance for my iPhone is going to be $7.99. Now, you think that it might be a little silly to put everything in, but once you see that this is calculating for you how much you spend in this entire category, it really tells you where your money is or where it's going, where you have it allocated. Now, my utility bill was $102.55. My cell phone is $105. And my cable bill is going to be like $77. I'm going to round that to 78 because I know there's some change in there somewhere. Now my water bill is $123.15. Last month it was $65. So I need to find out why is my bill almost twice what it was last month. So I called the company. They sent somebody out. There's no leak, but I have a toilet that hangs in the house. And so because it's running, it's cost me $65 extra. Now, if this continues for 12 months, that's almost $700 extra that I'm paying to the water company that I can't afford to pay. So I'm going to take $5 and go to Walmart and get me a new flapper and put it on and replace it, and that should take my water bill back down to what it normally is. Now, my groceries, if I'm going to fudge anywhere on this spreadsheet to make sure that all my bills are paid, I'm going to fudge my groceries. And the reason I say fudge it is because I can get by. I can grocery shop with as little as $25 a week if I have to. That's not the most comfortable place for me, but I'm going to feed my kids, because when I sat down and prayed and asked God how to fix my problems, he told me coupons, and then he helped me take this class. So I know how to use my coupons to get $25 worth of groceries. So if I'm short somewhere, I'm either going to take it out of my groceries, or I'm going to sell something on eBay, or I'm going to try to do a side hustle so that I'm not having to, forego this category right here. So for the month of April, my grocery budget is $171.19. And I break that up into 4 weeks, or however many weeks there are in the month. I do not have anything for restaurants or fast food. I did not plan to eat out this month, although the kids and I did eat out today. And we also paid for somebody's lunch, and we spent $30 for 5 people to eat. So that was how we did that. For my car payment, I don't have a car payment, so I don't have to fill in that category. For gas and oil, I did have an oil change this month. I budgeted in $30. It was a little bit over $30. I had a tire plugged last week, but that was in the month of March, so I don't have to put repairs and tires in here. Car insurance we pay on a 6-month basis. License and taxes, I've already paid that, and I didn't have any replacements. Now, for clothing, I had zero budget for clothing, but I did actually end up paying $120 because the kids' dad sent money for them. So I did not budget it in this column because in the beginning I didn't have their money, but when he sent it on Saturday, I was able to put it in my actual column. So I actually did spend $120 on clothes for them, even though I didn't budget it. Oh, that says mom. I'm going to take that out and put it where it says kids. Even though I didn't budget for it previously, that's where it went. We've got to get some medications this month, but I have my benefits card. So for my insurance or my gym membership, it's $25. Toiletries, I didn't put anything in there. For Gracie, I actually budgeted in $25 for her. And so far this month, I've already ended up spending about $32 for her because I had to buy puppy food. Now, childcare, I'm skipping that item. I got some jewelry from my aunt, so I budgeted in $28 for that jewelry. Taekwondo is an expense for us. For 3 of us to take per month is $325, and then my PureFlix account cost me $7.99 a month. First month was free. We don't have any P&O, and then for competitions, I'm gonna have to figure that out. For blow money, I did give myself $34.19. And my church trip cost us $20. My student loan is $52.29. And my Safe Flight ticket is $50. Now, I'm going all the way back down because it's still telling me that I have $331.99 that I have to spend somewhere. So I've got to figure out how to put it back into my budget, because right now I haven't spent it all. I'm almost positive I haven't spent it all. So I need to spend this money somewhere here. So let's go back up and see what I did not put in. Okay, let me go back. I'll start at the top. This is how I do it every month. I'm like, Lord, where do I need to put some more money? Okay. Nothing there because I didn't have any extra expenses there. Let's see. Oh, I didn't put my gas in. My gas was $112 and plus, so that's $142. That was including my oil change and gas for the month. So that took a big chunk out. I missed that one the first time. I didn't put the kids' clothing in at $120. So let's go back and see how much I'm short now. Okay, I have $99.99. So I still have to spend $99.99. All right, let's go back up and figure out where I'm going to spend $99.99. I did have medications, $10 here. Oh, I was going to get back under miscellaneous and hair care. I'm going to get Alana's hair done, which is $25. And then Jackson's haircut, which is $12. So I put $50 in the hair care account since their dad did send money. So this month they're going to actually have enough for her to go to the hairdresser. So I'm going to go back down and see. Okay, now I'm back down to $39.99. So I still have to get this number to 0. So where am I actually going to spend it? Okay, I got $39.99. And I would take my sheet and I would write, okay, I got $39.99 to spend, Shakema. Okay, keep looking. Back to the top of the sheet to figure out what I missed. And I do this sheet every month. I am totally religious about it. Let's see, what did I miss? I think it's eating out that I didn't put on here. Yep, eating out. And today I spent $30. Right? I did. So that's going to give me $9.99 left to spend because I knew I had $39. Yep, so I have $9.99 to spend. Now what I would probably do is take $171.19 and add $9.99, and that's going to give me $181.18. So I'm going to put this in my grocery budget. That's just what I would do, is put this into my grocery budget. So I'm going to make that $181.19. And now if I go back down, I should actually be at a 0. I'm over a penny. 191.18. Sorry, that should be an 8. And it's very specific. I mean, it takes you down to the absolute 100% last penny. So now I am at a 0 base budget. So according to my bills, I have spent $2,971.36 because the kids got money this month. And I should not have any more money here. Now that's in theory. So then you still have to come back over to your actual column and type in those same numbers. $2,721.36. And then for the kids, $250. And so now it's going to tell you how much you have left to actually spend, because you've spent some. You know, we've put in some monies here. I put in my tithe and offering on my actual spent column. And this may be a running document that you're using all month long, because maybe you don't pay your bills until, you know, maybe you're not paying your bills until the middle of the month. When I get paid, I go ahead and pay all of my bills. So 874.02 is in. Homeowners, I didn't have anything. The lawn guy, I've already paid him. No taxes. My iPhone, I'm putting that in because I've already paid that. So look here. Okay, this is good because it's going to tell you, right? This number says 31.7%. I'm told by Dave Ramsey that my housing should only cost me between 25 and 35% of my income. Right now, based on what I have here for housing, I'm paying 31.7%. So I'm well within the range of what I should be paying for my housing budget. So as you start putting in your numbers in your column G, it'll change your percentages in column K. I didn't put any money in savings, so 0% of my income this month went to savings. All right, let's keep going. So I've already paid my utility bill at $102.55. Haven't paid my cell phone bill yet, or my cable bill yet, or my water bill yet. So technically for this portion of my utilities, I've only paid $102.55. But as I go in and pay something, like my phone bill is due on the 14th, so I'll pay this before the 14th. I'll go back into my sheet and I will put that number in this column. And then the same with my cable bill and my water bill. Now I've taken out my grocery money for the month because I buy groceries using cash. And I take that number and I divide it by 4, and it tells me how much money I have to spend for the week. I'm moving this number out of here because I'm changing that somewhere else. Okay, so far I've only spent $32 to get my oil changed. Haven't gotten gas this month yet. I spent $120 on kids' clothes. My Healthways has not come out, but I did do Gracie. I'm going to write a check for this Papa jewelry. Taekwondo I've already paid for the month. PureFlix has not come out yet. Blow money, I did take out my $34.19, and I use cash. This is a cash envelope. Eating out, I did pay $30 for that today. Church trip, I've already paid my $20, and we do it via PayPal, so I was able to do that via PayPal to get that out. And now I have my student loan is not due until the 26th of April, and then my Safe Flight ticket, I have to pay that before the 28th of April. So now if I go back down to what I actually have, I still have $604.43 that I have to spend in this column, but there are some categories that I have not put in yet because I haven't paid them. They haven't come due. Now if you get paid bi-weekly, you might want to do this sheet twice, one for the first 2 weeks, one for the second 2 weeks. I just use mine running, and I just do it every time I get monies come in or monies go out. I just pull it up, I put in my numbers, and I keep it moving. So that is your budget sheet for the month in actual live time, how I do mine. And so I do the same thing, same processes every single month. Every single month. It's telling me here for my personal that I should be between 5 and 10%. Right now I'm at 14% on personal. So what could I get rid of here? Well, next month I won't have the Papa jewelry. I can take blow money away from myself. I don't have to have spending money, but everybody likes to have a little bit of something to spend. So, you know, think about you, think about your personality. I like to go to the Goodwill. I don't have to get my hair done at the shop. Alana doesn't have to get her hair done at the shop. We could look into getting Gracie a little bit different food that might be a little bit cheaper for her. So there are things that we can do to actually help out these percentages. These are estimations and guesstimations, and you want to make sure that you stay pretty close, because if not, if you have more going out than you have coming in, then you're always going to be in a deficit. Now again, back to my groceries. I take $181, I divide that by 4. I have about 40 some dollars in change every week to go grocery shopping. And I clip my coupon and I make it work. So right now, I have spent or accounted for 79.6% of my income, or 80%. There's still 20% of my income that I have not accounted for in my bills. It's not free money. It's money that I still need to allocate towards some bills that just haven't come due yet. And the reason I like to go ahead and put my stuff in and pay my bills is so when I look at this number, I don't think that's money I can spend. I already know that my bills have to be paid in there. So anyway, that was the budget sheet. Questions about how to use the sheet, please feel free to either message me, I can walk you through the sheet. But I thought it would be easier to kind of run us through how I actually do my monthly budget. And I do it the same. And when I tell you, and I'm being totally honest, that I have budget sheets back to 2011, I have budget sheets back to 2011. This probably is the only principle that I have actually done wholeheartedly with Dave Ramsey, is the budget sheet. And then I also do baby step number 1, which is the emergency fund. So he also says if you're single and you make less than about $26,000 a year, you should have about $500. If you're married and your income is over $26,000, you should have $1,000. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. So until tomorrow, bye.